welcome to TJMF, or Two Jews Making Food. I am Rebecca.
And I am Amy, and today we're cool as a cabbage.
Cool as a cabbage.
Cool as a cabbage.
I'm so excited about this episode.
Did you like the skateboard?
Who doesn't like a skateboard?
Because I was like, how do we represent cool as a cabbage? Because we're cool because we're on skateboards.
Well, the skateboard is cool.
My niece skateboards. She's very good.
Well, and she's very cool.
Yeah.
So
she is very cool.
Well, we take after her.
Hi,
so
Rebecca.
All right. Oh.
That's not Rebecca. Her name is Jessica.
Well, it's just my mother's third choice of names.
Oh my God, you're Rebecca.
Rachel, Jessica.
Hi, Jess. I messed up.
That's
Hello.
Fine. She hears you. She sees you.
I see.
So, cabbage. We've got cabbage
my memory
crazy going on over here.
So much cabbage.
Not only are we doing a stuffed cabbage, but we're doing a cabbage cocktail, if you can even imagine.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, who knew
so good.
that Rebecca would find a cabbage cocktail when I said I'm making stuffed cabbage?
She says, I'm making stuffed cabbage. I said, hold on, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I got something really crazy for you today. So
are you going to get us started with
I'm going to get started just with sauteing.
But I want to say, we've done stuffed cabbage before.
We have.
This is not that recipe.
No, so last time we did stuffed cabbage when we were filming from your kitchen, I did exactly my mom's recipe, which it's pretty similar. She doesn't use rice in hers. She uses breadcrumbs. She kind of cooks it on a bed of onions. This recipe, it was delicious, but I wanted to shake it up. She also uses turkey. And Pete, my husband, doesn't like turkey, ground turkey, but he likes beef.
Because my mom, in her stuffed cabbage, uses rice.
Yeah,
it's
delicious. So I'm again using our favorite book, The 100 Most Jewish Foods.
It's debatable.
A highly debatable list. I'm actually using the recipe from this book, which you'll be able to find on our website, on LTV's website. Our website is twojewsmakingfood.com. Our YouTube is Two Jews Making Food. Our Instagram is Two Jews Making Food, or .net. But
.net. Well, I just don't get lost.
Don't get lost in the internets.
Don't get lost.
So my mom was a little bit cross with me. Not really, but she kept fighting me on, why aren't you just using my recipe?
Was there a little Jewish guilt going on?
Oh, there's always Jewish guilt going on. It's like nagging and guilt. So you're spoiling. But I was like, listen, Mom, I did that one. I'm gonna try the one in this book.
I'm excited.
See how it goes. But I know I like having rice in it because it kind of expands and it's really yummy.
Oh, it's so tasty.
And one of the interesting things about stuffed cabbage is that although it is very traditionally Jewish, sort of Ashkenazi Jewish, really, it's a very Eastern European dish in general. It's Slavic.
So many different versions.
Yeah, and
many of them serve it with sour cream.
Yes, they might use pork instead of. I'm using beef today. You can use ground turkey. But if you're not Jewish or if you're not kosher. Sometimes people put sour cream on it. I've never done that, I have to say. No, because we make a delicious sauce with it.
Yeah, when I was in Hungary, they served that.
Yeah, that's very Hungarian, well, that's like borscht, borscht is so delicious. Anyway, so I'm going to get my...
Get us going.
Going to get going with what goes into the meat. I got to saute it. So I've got white, yellow onions, chopped carrots, and celery. I'm going to start with the yellow onions and the carrots because they take longer. Woo! And then I'll throw in the celery.
That was like the gunshot. We're off.
We're off. I'm going to lower that heat. So while I'm sauteing my vegetables to go into the meat, Rebecca, why don't you start your wacky cocktail?
Okay, so my wacky cocktail. So we are using legitimate red cabbage. Here it is. Here it is, red cabbage. It's about...
So pretty.
Right? Isn't it so nice? The color's so beautiful. And that's part of what makes this fun. It's about 300 grams or a cup and a half of red cabbage.
Oh, and I should mention that I used essentially one medium onion. These were small, so I used 2 small onions, yellow onions, and like 2 carrots chopped. It actually said shredded carrots in this recipe, and I was like, that sounds weird. I'm not doing that, so I chopped them, and it's fine.
That sounds weird, and that's the beauty.
And eventually I'm going to add 1 celery stalk chopped, but they were small, so I did 2. And again, it's not baking. It doesn't have to be exact. So if you like things oniony, you put more onions in.
Okay, so I put red cabbage into what will be 4 cups of boiling water.
Whoa.
And then I have half a cup of just regular sugar. You throw that in. Boop, boop, boop.
This is going to be a cocktail. I know. I am so perplexed.
So I just took a little twig of rosemary from my garden.
It's going to be very...
And you're going to put that right in there.
From my garden.
From my garden. And then we're going to just zhuzh it in. And it will come up to a boil. And you're going to boil this for about a minute. And it comes out. The liquid is so pretty. The color is so, so pretty. Now I have to say, the cabbage itself, we do strain it, so you don't end up like eating the cabbage in a drink, which would be a little weird to me.
Yeah.
But
that's why I'm having a hard time understanding this.
Well, it's funny. When it's done, you kind of smell the cabbage, and you think to yourself, I cannot imagine this ever tasting like something I would want to drink. But then it freezes, and it mellows out, and it makes it really lovely.
That's like, I can't imagine, like, you wish you could smell these onions.
Oh my gosh, onions and carrots and celery, it's such a lovely scent.
It's the Holy Trinity, isn't it? Isn't it the Holy, don't they call that the Holy Trinity?
Yes, there's two versions, right?
Hand me the celery, please.
Doesn't one have like green peppers
milady.
in it?
I don't know, but I don't like green peppers, so I wouldn't do that.
It's out for Amy. So this is, ooh, it's already working.
It is?
Look, like it turns purple. Do you see that?
You need to like get a, here, use that spear. Can we see? Oh, I don't know if you can tell from the overhead. It's kind of hard.
Kind of hard, but it started.
Do it over. Oh yeah, look at that. See, look at the contrast
blue,
between.
like blue,
That's
purple.
crazy.
And all it takes is you just let this boil.
Burl.
About a minute.
For about a minute?
About a minute, like enough to let the rosemary kind of release into the water and the sugar to dissolve.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it smells so
I'm
good.
going to add a little pinch of salt to my mirepoix, or my Holy Trinity. I think it's also called mirepoix. I just threw that out there, but my Holy Trinity. A little bit of pepper.
A little pepper from the mill.
From the mill. This is well. It's going there, pepper. All right.
I see it.
Yep. So I'm going to keep sauteing. You're boiling.
I'm boiling, sauteing.
I should also mention
Please do.
that I did this ahead of time because we don't have time on this show to prepare the cabbage, but I want to tell you how you do it. You take a nice cabbage. You want to make sure it looks really good and it's like nice leaves. You core it, meaning can I get an overhead, please? You take a knife and you cut into the core, and you have to cut the core out. And if it doesn't properly come out, you can scoop it out. So you just kind of cut into it and then pull it out, scoop out the extra bits. So you've got a bit, a deep hole in the center of the cabbage. Okay, then you take a big pot, and you can either boil water in the pot, or you can just take like a kettle and make boiling water, and you put the cabbage in, core up, and you pour the water in, put the lid on, and you let it sit core up for about 15 minutes, flip it over, and do about another 15 minutes core down, and that softens the cabbage so that it becomes malleable in order to roll the meat into the cabbage.
All right. I am going to drain
A
this.
mess as always.
It's not
I'm the
too
queen of
hot.
making a mess.
That's what you do. So you just take a nice little mesh and a bowl.
Oh, the color is
Or isn't it
crazy.
Go, go, go. And you try not to splash yourself, because I have to say, people use this to dye
That was so
like
fast.
fabric, so
Oh,
it
they
will stain
do?
your clothes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right, boop, 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 boop. All right, that goes back over there.
I love a good natural dye.
Who doesn't? I have to say, I like Easter eggs. And stuff.
Can you eat that cabbage later?
I don't. it would be sweet.
Yeah, it'd be
There's
sweet.
sugar in it. I don't know. I'd try
I'm
it.
sure that there'd be a delicious
Why
way to
not? Okay.
repurpose that.
So this here is the purple liquid, as you can see. Now what you do is if you put it in a metal container.
Look at that. Look
Isn't
at
that so beautiful?
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And you put it in the freezer.
Oh.
And once you put it in the freezer, in like a metal container, and it's if you can make it so it's a little bit more shallow as opposed to like super deep, I think it makes it freeze a little bit easier. And you just keep like working a spoon through it every half hour so that it's been in there until it freezes all the way. And what you get is almost like a slushy.
Is it like a granita even?
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Granita. My friend Christine made a pomegranate granita the other day, and it was delightful.
So yum. Okay, so it comes out looking like this. If we can get the overhead
Ooh.
shot. Can you get, there it goes. So you see that? It's purple. It's that nice, beautiful, dark color purple.
Wow.
So then you take
That is
your,
cool.
I'm doing vanilla vodka because I know that's what Amy likes.
I do.
But I also think you could do it with gin. I mean, gin's kind of a nice.
We
if
don't
you were-
like gin.
If you were making this in the summer, you'd do gin. Why not?
Or vodka, because
But vodka, that's what we're doing today. You could do regular vodka if you're not a fan of the flavored type. I just like a little bit of vanilla in mine. So then I'm stealing the spoon. Amy, sorry.
I'm just quickly going to point out that my onions have sweated pretty nicely. They usually say like put the onions in first, but I wanted the carrots to have more time to soften, so I put the onions and the carrots in first with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then added the celery, which doesn't need as much time. So you want those onions to really sweat and get translucent, and they're really at that point now, and they're going to cook more in the meat, so these are good to go.
Ooh, that's really hefty that I just did that. Okay, you have to be careful when you drink this, Amy. So you put this on top like that.
Whoa!
Okay, and you see.
Did you just pour? Because I missed it because I was
Yes,
sautéing.
I put the vanilla vodka, and then I put the slush on the top of it, and then you take a lemon. You know, this one doesn't have seeds, and you pour it over the top. And it takes a minute.
What is happening?
But it starts to turn.
It's changing
pink.
color.
Can you see it? You see how it's turning pink there? And it takes a second. It's not like instant.
Whoa, that's really unbelievable.
So,
whoopsie. I can get it closer.
A red cabbage has what's called flavin. I believe that's how you say it in it.
Flavin?
Flavin. And it's what it causes the color of it. So depending on what you add to it, so we're adding an acid, and the acid turns it more of a red pink color. If you were to add a base, I believe it turns it more a green yellow color. But you can see that now it's almost like a rainbow drink.
That is
magic.
amazing.
Look how cool that is. It's pink on the top and purple on the bottom.
Is it going to taste like cabbage?
No, and now you're going to taste it and you're going to see. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Good luck.
Okay. Ooh.
It's delicious, right?
It's so good.
So it's science, it's magic, it's food, it's cabbage.
Magic.
It's cabbage. It is cabbage and vodka together.
And it's icy. I love ice.
It's like a little, and look at that. The rainbow actually stays even as you drink it. You see that? It's like pink on the top.
Can you guys see that?
And like blue on the bottom.
That's so magical.
Right?
How did you figure this out?
Man, the internet's a wild place.
It is. Sometimes dangerous. But
and gross. But
in this case, worth it.
It's delicious. Oh my God. And who would have thought, like with red cabbage, that you could come up with such a delicious drink?
That's unbelievable, I gotta say.
Who knew?
I'll put that here.
I know everyone that I've been serving it to, because I've been trying this out, everyone is like, that is not red cabbage. There's no way that there is a vegetable in there. And there is. Look at that. Look at that drink.
That's so crazy.
So beautiful. I love this drink.
Ugh.
Ooh, let's make it even prettier. I'm going to put some.
Ooh, look at you.
Ooh, and then
Come
there's
on, now
green.
stop it.
Stop.
You just stop that.
Stop. I just took it out of.
All right. I'm putting my
Tell me, Amy.
my sautéed vegetables in this bowl.
I love this drink.
Where I am
Yeah, you
going
are.
to- I am.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it, and you're not
I'm
even
doing it because
taking names, not
I'm
taking
doing
names.
it all for my baby. Huey Lewis and the News. Doing it all for my baby.
Yeah.
She's as
If you
fine
don't
as
know
she
that
can be.
song, then you are
too young.
too young.
All right, so then I'm adding
Sorry, I'm
to
obsessed
my
with
vegetables. Tell me. My nephew used to say that all the time. Half a cup of uncooked white rice. This is basmati. Doesn't really matter. Half a cup.
There? Does it go in? You don't cook it at all?
No, you don't cook the rice at all. It cooks in the cabbage.
Now, I have to say, my mother has made this dish before with uncooked rice, and now she is phobic about making this with uncooked rice because the rice did not cook. So I am so interested to find
Well,
out.
it did for me.
It did not
Half
for
a
my
cup
mom.
of golden raisins. And if you watch the Ode to Nigella episode, I had golden raisins in that one too. So I guess I'm a
obsessed.
golden raisins lover. Who knew?
Ew.
All right.
Mom, take notes. There is
Yeah.
there is uncooked rice in this recipe.
Hello, Janet. Then 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Where's my tablespoon at?
I stole it.
What?
Oh, and I left it in the drink. Hold on, let me just clean it.
Okay. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste.
It's nice and chilled.
Thanks, girl.
I'm there for you.
Couldn't find an actual normal tablespoons. It doesn't matter. This is an actual tablespoon that you eat with. All right.
It's good enough.
Okay.
It's like guesstimate
Yeah, and then
chef.
you mix this all together. So you mix your rice, your vegetables, your tomato paste all together in one bowl. And then make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
So far, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's all
Want me
good.
to mix while you're looking?
No, it's got it. All right, so you mix this all together. Boop, boop, boop. And again, yes, uncooked rice. You know, I also did not rehydrate the raisins. You don't need to do that beforehand because they rehydrate when they're cooking inside the cabbage.
Because there's also
Okay.
sauce.
This can go away, and that
Away,
can go
out of the
away.
way. We can
My
do it out of the way.
oy vey can go over there. Then you mix the rice mixture into a pound of ground beef. It can be a pound of ground turkey, ground chicken. People who are not kosher and like pork can use ground pork.
Leave nothing behind, Amy.
I'm doing beef today. Last time, when I made my mom's recipe, I did ground turkey because that's what she likes. I have to either not tell my husband that it's ground turkey or I just tell him, let's deal with it, it's really good. So I'm just going to mix this with my hands because it's much easier to do it that way.
Spoons.
I'm using God spoons. God spoons are big. God spoons. God spoons to you.
I'm going to use that now.
So I'm mixing it all up. So while I'm mixing this, I think it's probably a good time to kick it to Southern California, to the Steinhauses for the Yiddish lesson. Then we'll be back to show you how to stuff a cabbage.
Stuff it.
Take it away.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
Hello, Amy.
Hi,
Mom
Amy.
again.
So
What a
nice to
treat.
see. So nice to see you again.
Nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you.
I love Mom joining in for the Yiddish lesson of the day. I like to see your sweet punum.
Back on them.
Red one.
This is where I get my self-deprecating humor from. My fat punum. So hey, how's it going? You good?
It's going fine. Yeah.
How are things in Los Angeles?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, it's winter, so it's cold here. Wonderful.
LA is great.
Oh, good. I'm
Cold,
so
cool
glad.
here too. Not, it's fine though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is winter. I mean,
LA is great. It's just one big melting pot.
A melting pot. Like
No.
fondue?
If you wish.
All right. So what is the big Yiddish word of the day that you're going to teach
The
us?
big Yiddish word is a very short word. It's called tsuris. Tsuris.
Tsuris.
Source.
Yeah.
Source.
Source.
Mom, why don't you tell? What does tsuris mean, Mom?
Not like Source, like George Soros. It's Source.
Tsuris. Yeah. So what does
Sure.
it mean?
Yeah.
What
Tell
does it
them
mean?
what it means.
You tell me what it means, Mom.
It means aggravation, bad luck. Just, it's not good.
Troubles,
Yeah.
Isn't
woes.
it kind of like when you get yourself into like you work yourself up into like agita? Is it kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's like,
No.
hey, I gotta pay my income
No, I
tax.
think
I
there's
was
another
getting,
Yiddish word for that.
hey, I gotta pay my income tax already. I'm getting so much service from it.
No.
so it's like a
that's-
No,
headache?
it's not wrong. No, it's woes, it's worries. It's troubles.
Right. So not agita, but it's like
They're gonna come and arrest me.
stress. It's like stress.
Yes,
Being
Service
married
is
all these
stress.
years.
it's like that. No,
Source.
that's really service.
Source.
Wow. How many years?
Anyway.
How many years you been married?
Too many.
No,
50
something.
57.
57.
57.
Okay.
Wow.
Talk about service.
Oy vey, that's a
Uh-huh.
lot of years. Hey, use it in a sentence. So I think you just did, but do it again.
I just did.
Ah,
You want to use it in a sentence?
I can't
No.
think of anything.
Okay,
I just
I use
feel
it
like-
in a sentence.
okay.
I got such service. My children are giving me so much aggravation.
Yes.
I got such service. I
This
wish
is-
it would go away already.
Yeah.
That's service.
Okay. Eesh. Well,
Yeah.
nobody wants that.
Nobody wants service.
But
So you know
everyone-
which child never gives you aggravation? This girl.
What?
I said,
That's
which
like-
child never gives you aggravation?
Yeah. You know.
So
No, that's
anyhow,
not true. I know that's not true. So much service. All
so
right.
much service.
It's another good one. Service.
Tourists.
And it's got my favorite thing, which is a wet T, which you learn when you're learning dialects. That's when you put a little bit before a
Tourists.
or it has a surus. Okay, like
Otherwise, it sounds like Soros, like George Soros.
Soros. I know.
We don't-
Surus.
no, that wouldn't
Alright.
be fair.
Well, I better go before I get into what surus in the kitchen over the amount of time we have left to finish this show.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, well, maybe. Okay.
so it's good seeing you and
Good to
you
see
have
you
a
guys. I
great,
miss you so much. I love you.
And you have a tourist-free holiday.
Thank you. The holidays are long over now.
Okay.
Well, like we're getting into Passover.
I love
soon.
you.
All of a
well,
sudden,
it's always,
Wow.
there's always a holiday.
true. All the
Somewhere.
service-free Passover. All right. Love you very much, and I miss
Love
you.
you.
Love you too.
Love you more.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There's always a holiday.
There's always a holiday. No matter what time of year, there is something to celebrate.
This cabbage is giving me service.
Oh,
Because
God.
I
Yeah,
didn't bring
the
my
kni-
good knife, so I'm like literally using like a butter
It's
knife
like,
to try to
Amy,
cut
it's
up some
tender.
cabbage.
You could do it with that
Yeah,
knife.
I'll just tear it with my hands. All right, so while
Now
we
it's
were
God's knives.
well, these are God's knives.
God's knives, God's spoons.
God's spoons. while we were listening to my parents, how cute is my mom?
Oh my God, your family is.
I mean,
adorable.
they're both cute. They're both adorable. I love them, and I miss them very much. I'm
Well,
gonna
they're-
see.
They're
I'm gonna
joining
see
us
them soon.
today on the other
Yes,
side.
I'm gonna
of the
take
internet.
I'm gonna take a visit. So while we were learning the Yiddish
Yiddish.
service,
I want to get to this. one of
we
these.
pulled the leaves off of the cabbage, and Rebecca dried them. Thank you for doing that. So you have to take the leaves off, dry them, and what I do with some of the excess cabbage is I actually cut it up usually, and then I put some in the pan. Throw some in because it's delicious.
It's so good. The little
when it
bits.
cooks up, it's so good. So I'm just because I
And
don't
then
have my knife, I'm
because when
tearing
you
it.
finish the one piece that you've been given, then to find little extra bits in the sauce
Yes.
is like a little surprise.
And I think I mentioned that I held some raisins aside because I also throw some extra golden raisins in there. So I'm going to throw those in there just so that they're ready to go for when we start putting stuff in the pan. So that's just in there. And the heat's not on yet.
That way, you're never without.
You're never without.
You always get a little goodness in every bite.
I'll still use this for something. I'm just going to put it over here in the way.
Okay, so now do I cut out the rib or does
Yes,
the
so
rib
you
stay
need,
in?
no, so here's, so again, we don't have good knives, but so you need to cut out the vein. So if we could have the, thank you very much. So, can we see yours? Let's move this out of the way. Oh, yeah, such a mess. Hold on.
Oh, here, I'm in it.
Okay, good. We can get rid of this.
Okay, how much of this am I supposed
So you got to cut out the vein, and it's like, the vein is like that hard part in the middle. So cut out that vein.
Oh, I did it, okay.
Cut out the vein.
I don't think I did enough.
Throw it over there. Boop.
Just tell it to get out.
Okay.
Say thanks for joining us.
Now,
I want that to get out.
what I'm doing is I'm kind of
What are you doing?
folding, I'm kind of covering that part where I cut out. I'm folding over it so that it's kind of together. Now this next bit we're going to do is reminiscent of the blintzes we did recently, if you watched our blintz episode. So you take some meat and you kind of
Like
make
a
it,
palms?
that's a bit too much. And sometimes you might have to take a little out. Yeah, you kind of place it in like a kind of an egg shape on there towards one end. Then like we did with the blintzes, you fold one end, but then you fold these bits in on the side, and then you roll.
Sort of like a burrito.
Sort of like a burrito, and then you've got this, and it goes in the pan. And I'll put that in, and you put the seam down.
Always
Seam down in the pan.
Otherwise, all your goodies will fall out.
Your goodies will fall out. And you know what? You don't want your goodies to fall out.
You never want them to fall out.
You do not. So we'll do one more to show you. We're running out of time. Fold over the edge. Also, if you have really big leaves, you can cut the leaves in half. The only thing that happens there is sometimes it's hard to fold them with a smaller leaf. So you may not want to do that. So
Maybe you do.
yeah. Rebecca,
Yes, I'm here.
you can keep folding if you want.
I'm going to.
But what I'm going to do is, once you've filled your pan, but we're not going to have enough time to fully fill the pan, you fill the pan with 3 cups of tomato juice. Tomato juice, not sauce, just tomato juice. Pour the whole thing in the pan.
Because you need it to be liquidy.
Yes.
If you use tomato
And in
sauce,
fact,
it
you
would be
even sort of stretch the sauce by adding a little bit of water into your tomato juice receptacle.
I find this very zen. Like I find it like very
rolling?
relaxing to roll these.
You're doing a beautiful job, and I have to say these are
stuff
coming out
out.
really nice.
But whatever.
I'm gonna turn this off. You add a little bit of water, just to kind of stretch it a little bit. I add a little bit of sugar because it's tomato juice, so it's not really sweet. It's got a little bit of sweetness, just a little bit of sugar in there. And then usually I'll fill up this pan. Then you heat it on high until the water starts, so the
Tomatoes.
tomato juice starts to boil. Once it boils, you bring it down to kind of low heat, put a lid on it. So it goes medium,
You and I have been
Boil.
together for too long. I was thinking the same thing.
boil, low heat,
Boil oil.
lid, hour and 15 minutes, and it's done. And you should periodically pop into it, scoop some of the sauce over to kind of hydrate them. But, for the bits that are on the top here, but it'll start boiling over and covering everything. And just do that as it's cooking periodically. About an hour and 15 minutes, it's going to be done. And thanks to the magic of television,
Television magic.
I already have one done here.
Show us, Amy.
Yes.
Show us your magic.
Yes, I'll show you the magic. Oh God, I'm
Show us
spilling
your goodies.
everything. It's such a mess. Oy. So, voila.
Oh my God, I can't
This
wait to eat
is
that.
the completed stuffed cabbage.
Say yes to you. Say yes to
Yes.
this dish.
Yum. Last episode, Rebecca made challah,
Challah.
and challah is like so delicious to dip into. Here you
is.
go.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was obsessed with the rolling. I was rolling. I was in a zone.
Really. So, this is like we're running out of time. All right, quick scooping it up so we can taste it.
Soup it up.
All right. So this is stuffed cabbage.
Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
It's delicious. It's pretty healthy. You can do it without rice if you're on keto.
You can do it with a lower fat. You don't have to use beef. You
It's
just
very
use
hot,
Turkey
don't
and
burn your
chicken, like you
mouth.
said.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going
Right.
to eat this right now, but I'm going to blow on it
I'm good.
until it cools down.
but
But-
it's.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I am Rebecca,
I'm Amy.
and we are two Jews making food.
Join us next time
Ooh, I can't
for
wait.
more schmaltz, shtick, and stuffed cabbage.
And kibitzing.
And kibitzing.
Cheers.
L'chaim.